This Saturday, live on Showtime Championship Boxing, March 13th, David Benavidez makes his return to the ring in a World WBC Super Middleweight title eliminator against Ronald ELLIS. Let's talk about what's on the horizon for Benavidez. What's good, YouTube? This is STORMYBMAN and I'm back with another pre-fight video. Before we get started, I'd like to say shout out to the LDBC, the Lions Den boxing community, and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Starting this Saturday, March 13th on Showtime, we will see the return of David Benavidez, El Bandera Roja, aka the Red Flag, in his return to the ring to put himself in position in this WBC Super Middleweight World Title Eliminator to try and regain the title that he lost on the scales, currently now held by Canelo Alvarez. Benavidez has a story, people, where he has found himself a two-time champion and former champion now again, where discipline and his entire circle of focus has been called into question. He was once stripped of his title when he went awry in a failed drug test. Then he lost his title after regaining the title in a match where he faced Anthony Editorial back in September of 2019, when he went to have his next defense against Roma Alexis Angulo. He missed weight, and so therefore he lost the title on the scales. So this Saturday, where he's finding himself in the ring against Ronald ELLIS, who is currently in a position to make a real name for himself in the sport in this bout against Benavidez, with a record of 18-1 and 2. He has 12 knockouts. This fight for Ronald ELLIS could be a coming out party. His nickname, Hakeem, which is a weird nickname for it just to be known as a nickname. He has to make a name for himself in the sport if he wants to take advantage of opportunities in the super middleweight division. Jerry Odom and Junior Yunin are the two men that he drew against. Both are questionable fighters within their own right. Odom currently has a record of 13-2, and Yunin, whom he faced in February of 2018, is currently 13-0. This is the thing. ELLIS is being brought in as an opponent, ladies and gentlemen, not as a guy who is considered a threat. His single loss coming to DeAndre Ware in February of 2019, he lost by majority decision, and that was about it as far as him being questionable in the sport. DeAndre Ware and he fought a fight where when you have these majority decisions, the fights can go either way. But it was his win over Matvey Korobov where he stopped him in the 4th round. That's the one that make you take note. Is he starting to turn the curve and be serious about his career? This will be his opportunity. The style that he brings to the ring is an aggressive, box behind the jab, orthodox type style. But what's going to happen in this fight is he's going to have to show some will and determination, because at 5'10" and a half and a 77-inch reach, he is the much smaller guy. In this fight, BENAVIDEZ, who stands about almost 6'2" and has a 77 reach of his own, but he has the frame of a light heavyweight, and he's coming down from a huge weight. BENAVIDEZ is a big young man, and he's very young, only 24 years old. And when you're young like that, the thing about where he has the potential to go is he might go as high as cruiserweight. With that frame of his, he has strength, he has courage, he has really an aggressive nature that is going to really draw the ire of Ronald Ellis. This is the type of fight that, regardless of who wins, what's ahead of them could be tremendous. You see, Ellis is 31 years old, so he's pretty much grown to be about as big as he's going to be. This fight will be the chance for BENAVIDEZ to come around and show that he is finally getting on board with his career. Again, as I stated earlier, focus or lack thereof has been what his problem has been up to this point. When he had his victory over Anthony Dirrell, he really was coming on in that fight where Dirrell was trying to box him early on, but the pressure that he applied to the more experienced Dirrell seemed to really wear on him, and Dirrell became unraveled mentally because he began to kind of play around with BENAVIDEZ, and that's how the cut got opened up on his eye. He dropped his hands, he started mugging and mocking, and BENAVIDEZ was punching as he should have been. Now, for these two, the style contradictions are going to be interesting. As I stated, Ellis likes to work behind the jab and be aggressive with his come forward punching, but he's not necessarily going to be able to do that against BENAVIDEZ, who knows one gear as far as moving. He moves forward. He doesn't back up for anyone, and he likes to assert himself. I think just being a big man overall in the sport, he realizes and recognizes how to utilize his physicality. Now, psychologically, that may be where BENAVIDEZ is at a disadvantage. As a young man who's also very confident and a little bit cocky, he could still be taken to school. He could still be shown a few things. And that's where he's going to find himself learning on the job. Akeem might be able to take advantage of that, but we'll find out. Is he up for pressure himself? Will BENAVIDEZ be able to meet the challenge that's ahead and be disciplined to stay within that to be successful? The lack of discipline shown prior to now sometimes speaks of immaturity, and sometimes it speaks of character flaw. Then yet again, sometimes it speaks tremendously about what the overall essence of a person is. We'll find out how badly BENAVIDEZ wants to move forward with talks of a possible fight with Jermall Charlo on the horizon, and of course Canelo Alvarez. He wants to put himself in a position to be able to meet those challenges, but they will not come if he has another sidetrack. As far as ELLIS, being 30 years old, this is the guy who can kind of make a name for himself and cash in on a payday, possibly against Charlo, possibly against Canelo. You know that Canelo is not necessarily going to be looking at BENAVIDEZ as a future opponent for a duality of reasons. Most significantly, the threat that he poses and being as youthful as he is. As far as these two matching up against one another, I really see overall this being a fight of action. Then ELLIS is going to find out he's not strong enough. Then he's going to try to survive. Then we will see BENAVIDEZ coming on and will probably end up stopping ELLIS in this fight. I'm not sold on ELLIS. It's for a number of reasons, most notably how he performs. And in this fight, BENAVIDEZ is such a strong guy, I think the pressure is just going to simply weigh upon him. He'll be broken down mentally. He's definitely one who will be in shape physically, but the mental conditioning is what will pull someone out in this fight. And I do really believe that BENAVIDEZ is a very confident young man, and he's strong in his conviction. He's gonna win this fight, I believe. Unless he does something silly to get himself disqualified, that's the only way I see him losing. But this is something, again, fights overlapping on Saturday night. We have two cards on two different networks, which I really can't stand. We need to get boxing out of that type of graveyard. They can do far better. What are your thoughts on this fight? Leave some comments. Let STORMYBMAN know what you think about it, and we'll have a post-fight show where we'll discuss this even further. This is all I have for you at this time. This is STORMYBMAN. Until the next time we see each other, peace to everyone out there, and remain safe.